Hey, what's up, barbecue lovers? Rec Tec here, and today we're gonna smoke and grill some perfect, classic, beautiful hamburgers on my brand new Rec Tec RT-700 pellet grill. It's the Bull. Yep, that's right, you heard it. It's a pellet grill. And after we break it in, I'm gonna tell you how this video came about and what my first impressions are on the RT-700 and why you might want one of these really nice pellet grills in your backyard. All right, Pitmaster, since this is the maiden voyage of my Rec Tec RT-700, the Bull, we're gonna do something classic and simple, a damn good hamburger. That's something that everybody enjoys, and with summer right around the corner, we wanna show you how to do it right. Now, we're gonna start with some of my brisket trim. Since I'm a competitor, I always have brisket trims left over. This is about a 70 to 30 meat to fat ratio. That's just about right for a delicious, juicy hamburger. So what we're gonna be using on our hamburgers today is basic beef from Texas Select Seasoning, and we're also going to be using 956 from TXQ Barbecue Rubs. Basic beef is not a real high salt. This has the salt and a little extra flavor in there, so the two together make an incredibly delicious and juicy hamburger. Let's get started. One of the things I like to do is I like to sprinkle some of the rub right here on the board, and that way you don't have to pick the burger up and flip it over and do the other side. So we're going to put a little bit of both of these seasonings on here. And then we're just gonna lay our patty on here and then lay some rub on top. We're gonna tighten it up a little more, a little bit tight. Okay, and then I like to take about a nice big little handful here. We're not gonna make some baby burgers here. These are not the junior burgers. These are gonna be the real Texas style hamburgers. Gonna make them nice, fat, and juicy. These are 100% ground burgers, just straight up brisket trimmings. I don't have any kind of other binder, no eggs, no crackers. No. In Texas, in my house at least, we like a straight up beefy burger. There's burger number 2. All right, now we have all of our patties made, so we're gonna put us our basic beef first. Put a nice healthy coat on here. That's gonna cook down nice right into the meat. All right, that's layer number 1. Next, we're gonna go with our TXQ 956 rub right here. Really, really good stuff. Look at those nice big chunks of salt. That really adds a delicious flavor to the burgers. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on here. The oil helps dissolve the spices a little bit and kind of helps keep the burger nice and sheeny. It adds a real pretty color, and it enhances the flavor just a little bit as well. All right, barbecue lovers, we're out here. We've got our Rec Tec set for 275 degrees. So we're gonna get our burgers on. We're gonna cruise at 275 and give these burgers probably about 40-45 minutes to get done. So let's get these burgers on and get to cooking. I'm gonna put these right there in the middle, and let's see how our burgers turn out. And we've got one teeny tiny little burger here for Grandma. I think she'll enjoy that. So we're gonna put these burgers on. We've got them on. We're gonna let them cook, like I said, for about 45 minutes. When these get done, I'm gonna bring the other 3 burger patties out. We're gonna crank that thing up to about 450 degrees, and let's see what kind of a job the Rec Tec does on searing them hamburgers. All right, we're back out here next to our Rec Tec 700. Our burgers are coming up to temp. We've been about 35 minutes in the smoker. Have not opened the lid to look yet until now. One of them is already at 141 degrees. The little bit thinner one sitting towards the back is 132 degrees. And so we're also gonna go ahead and kick our burgers up a couple of notches. We're gonna add some smoked bacon, and we're gonna put a little bit of onions in there and get them nice and hot and juicy. So I brought my Thermopin out so I can check the other small burger that's for Grandma. That one might be done already. Man, look at that pretty color. They look pretty nice. This little burger's 142 degrees, not bad. 39 on that one up there where that's at, which is pretty close to what the probe says there. 134. We got 20 minutes to go. So in the meantime, I'm gonna put these onions in here and this bacon so we can smoke it a little while. We're gonna set our alarm for about another 20 minutes. So we'll be back in 20 minutes it's been another 25 minutes or so. We're gonna check our burgers. They're cooking a little slower. I have to say it's probably the windy conditions, but we're still cruising at 275. According to the probe, one of them's 155, one's 146. We're gonna double check with our thermopin because we're getting real hungry. 148, it's almost done. We're gonna let them run to about 158 or so. 146, 145, yep. Our burgers are pretty much done. We're gonna go ahead and get some cheese slices on there because we're making a perfect burger, and a perfect burger needs cheese. All right, we've got our cheese in there. It's starting to melt really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the heat because we have 3 more burger patties that we wanna put in the Rec Tec and put it to the test and see what kind of a sear we can get. So I'm gonna crank this up right now to 350 degrees, and then I'm gonna take it up to 400 once it gets close to that. All right, barbecue lovers, our burgers are ready. The cheese is nice and melted. I turned up the heat on the Rec Tec to 350. It's already at 329. It didn't even take 4 minutes, man, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up to 400 so we can sear those other hamburgers while I'm pulling these off. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at that burger. Really nice and pretty. Didn't shrink. Good, perfect size for Untitled. And I can see, because this bacon's way at the back, it's searing, that's where the hot air is coming from. I'm gonna rotate these a little bit. Let's go ahead and toast these buns real quick also. Now I like butter on both sides of my buns, so I'm gonna spray both sides. All right, I'm gonna flip my buns. I'm gonna get my bacon out because it's done also. Bacon looking pretty, look at that. Just gorgeous. All right, hamburger buns are done, nice and buttery, yumbly in the tumbly. We're gonna go ahead and get these new patties on. We're letting this Rec Tec get nice and hot. We're gonna put the onions over on this side, kind of get them out of the way. Put these patties right here in the middle. Yes, sir. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble our burger. I'm gonna take my little fork here and get the biggest patty I got here. Yeah, buddy. I like double mustard, so I'm gonna put a little bit here first. All right, now I like to also put the lettuce. I like to put double, and then I like to put the tomatoes on top of that. We're also going to put some of these grilled jalapenos that my lovely wife grilled for me inside. And I really, really like pickles. Pickles and jalapenos. Those are the 2 things I cannot do without on my hamburgers. We're gonna put 2 big pretty pieces of bacon on top. And remember, I like mustard, so I'm gonna put a little bit more mustard on here. And a little bit of onion. There we go. This burger looks amazing. Perfectly beautiful hamburger, classic, the way I like to eat them. Let's cut it up and take a big old bite and see what the Rec Tec hamburger tastes like. Look at that. Just got to be amazing. Perfectly cooked, perfect, beautiful hamburger. I'm not even sure I can get my mouth around that, but here we go. Oh man, normally I take 1 bite and kind of finish up, but that was so good I had to take a second bite. That burger just tastes amazing. I can taste that little bit of smoky flavor in there. It doesn't have the sear because we didn't sear it, we didn't cook it that hot, but the flavor, the smoke, the fresh ground beef, and all the other condiments in there together just makes the classic an amazing, perfect hamburger. Guys, you gotta try that. All right, barbecue lovers, took about 15, 18 minutes more or less for these burgers to get done. One cool thing is that I set the temperature at 500 and it rocked quick. Didn't take very long at all. It is sitting at 500 degrees. This thing is solid the way it runs. It's really, the programming is, it's spot on, it's amazing. All right, let's pull off our burgers because they are done. Having that light sure does help when things get a little bit dark outside. Didn't take long, burgers are done, pretty dang quick. Let's go eat. All right, barbecue lovers, we're through with our freaking amazing hamburger. It truly was delicious, but I did promise you 3 things at the beginning of this video. So let's get started with how this video came about. Now, I hadn't had a pellet grill in quite a while. I've owned 4 of them in the past, but I hadn't had one in a while. And so I felt like having another one. I've seen a lot of my friends out on the competition trail using the pellet grills and actually cooking and winning with them in competition. So I felt like I really wanted to get another pellet grill. So I reached out to Rec Tec, and the rest is history. So we'll be making a few more videos on pellet grills in the very near future. So leave us a comment down below. What would you like to see us cook on the Rec Tec 700 pellet grill? So the next thing that I was wanting to talk about was why you might possibly want to have a pellet grill in your own backyard. One of the reasons I've had a pellet grill in the past is because I live in South Texas. And man, when it gets hot in summertime, I mean, literally it's 115, 120 degrees. It's really hot. And I still want to eat barbecue, so man, it's so easy to just go turn on the button, set it and forget it. Just so easy to use these grills. You don't have to be manning the fire. You don't have to be adding logs. I mean, they are really seriously easy to use. That's one thing. The other thing is some apartment buildings don't allow regular charcoal smokers, but they possibly might allow gas grills or pellet grills. I'm gonna tell you right now, pellet grills is the way to go. It's real wood, it's real fire, and it does taste like real barbecue. You don't taste like gas on your meats. So those are a couple of reasons why you might want to consider it. They do run on electricity, but they actually cook with real wood. They do turn out really great barbecue, and they're easy to use. All right, now on for the review. The assembly was really straightforward and pretty simple. You know, I'm kind of a DIY and mechanically inclined person. I think I could have assembled it even without the paper, even without the phone, because it was like a jigsaw puzzle. Everything kind of only went one way. But for those that are maybe a little more technically challenged, I think it would be cool to have a little fold-out paper. Other than that, it went pretty smooth. All the parts were really good and heavy duty, and everything went one way and everything screwed on and fit nice and tight. And it actually was overall a pretty easy and simple process. The instructions said to put about a cup of pellets in the hopper. I did that. I turned it on to 400 just like the instructions said, and I closed the lid, and it was pretty much set it and forget it for an hour, man. I let it cruise at 400. It stayed at 400, 402, 401, 400 for an hour. After that, we were done and we were ready to cook. This pellet grill is pretty much set it and forget it. Once we got our burgers ready to cook, I had the temperature cranked down to about 275 degrees. That was just the temperature I chose to cook at. I wanted my burger to get done in about 45 minutes to an hour. It was very windy, so I knew it was gonna take a little bit longer. That's just the nature of the beast when it's very windy outside. But we cranked the temperature down to 275, put our hamburgers on, closed the lid. It doesn't get any easier, man. I mean, that's it. Now, as far as the controller goes, this is something that I really, really loved. I would much rather have a little control knob, a dial like the Rec Tec has. I know some have buttons that you push up and down. I really, really, really like that little knob. I just like to turn it, set it where I want it to be, and be done with it. Came back a little bit later after the burgers were on and inserted the probes, stuck them into the burgers, and I mean, they worked instantly. There was no having to program or add or take away. I mean, they just worked. The RT-700 Bull looks like a barbecue grill. I like that the hopper's in the back and not a big giant hopper in the side. The table, it has a folding table in the front that's actually, you know, that far below the lid. Genius, man. I mean, genius. You can put your little pan with butter or sauce or whatever you want. You can put your trays there without worrying about them being in the way when you're trying to open the door. And I also like that it's short man friendly. It's not sitting way up here, so that when I open the lid with those really pretty stainless steel horns, it's easy even for me to reach for. I think Rec Tec really nailed the height feature just right for everybody. But those horns, man, that's a cool handle. I think that really makes the grill look super cool, makes it stand out in a crowd. These Rec Tecs are just the right gauge. I want to call it a nice balance between being sturdy and heavy enough, but not being a tank and weighing a ton. The fit and finish on everything was really, really good. Being that it's stainless steel, I think is a really, really big plus. And the fact that they were not cheap and didn't make it so thin, even though stainless is a little bit more expensive material, I think that speaks volumes about Rec Tec's wanting to make a really fine quality grill. Now the Rec Tec 700 has a hopper on the back side of the grill. I really like that feature. Being that it's on the back side, it can be the width of the grill, which it is, and then it's in a V shape, but it's able to be considerably larger than if it's on the side like most pellet grills. Being that it's back there, you can put up to 40 pounds of pellets in there. That's a lot of pellets. That's a lot of cooking time. All right, now as far as capacity, I mean, for my purposes, I can see that I could easily put 2 whole briskets in there. Plenty of room for that. I could easily put 3 pork butts side by side in there and have plenty of breathing room. As far as I'm concerned, that's plenty big. Now the Rec Tec also comes with an app. But I'm an analog man in a digital world. So it's gonna take me a little while to figure that one out. So I'm gonna save that for a future video for you guys. Now, what about versatility? I would say we pretty much nailed that today. We cooked our first set of burgers at 275. I could have very easily done them at about 250 and spent a little bit more time out there, but I was hungry, man, so I put them at 275, and then I cooked the second set of hamburgers at 500 degrees. They were out quick. I would say it's very versatile. You can cook low and slow, or you can cook hot and fast, or anywhere in between. Keep in mind that it is an electric piece of equipment. It does have a circuit board in there. You want to take care of it. Make sure you get a cover for it. Keep it covered at night. Another cool thing in the instructions is that you can use an extension cord. That is a huge, huge plus. Of course, use a good heavy-duty outdoor cord. And the last thing I wanted to point out here that was super impressive to me, the consistent cooking temperature. When I set it at 275, it never got over 278. It never got below 275. And when I put my second set of hamburgers at 500, once it got up there to 500, it actually stayed at 500 and did not even vary from there. I mean, that to me was just like mind-blowing. All right, now would I recommend the Rec Tec Bull? You know, I'm gonna say 100% yes. So if you're in the market for a grill, and if you're thinking about a pellet grill or even a gas grill, this is the one to get. The RT-700 is just an amazing pellet cooker. So that's all I have for you today, Pitmasters. Remember to keep the smoke light and make it work. Boom!